What if I told you the country called Italy didn't exist until 1861? But the land, it ruled the entire world for centuries, from the most powerful empire in history to the birthplace of art, science, and culture. This is the story of Italy, and trust me, it's wilder than you think. 753 BC. A small hill in the middle of nowhere. Brothers stood there, Romulus and Remus. Legend says they were abandoned as bobbies and a wolf found them, fed them, raised them like her own cubs. Strange, yes, but what happened next was even stranger. The brothers grew up, strong, powerful, and they had one dream: build a city on those 7 hills. 2 kings cannot share one throne. Romulus raised his sword and killed his own brother. Then he looked at the land, the hills, the river, and he said one word: Rome. From that one moment, history changed forever. Rome started as a tiny village, mud huts, dirt roads, a few hundred people. Romans were different. They didn't just build, they conquered. Within 500 years, Rome controlled all of Italy, then Greece, then Egypt, then all of Europe, then North Africa, then parts of Asia. At its peak, the Roman Empire had 50 million people under one ruler, 3 entire continents, one flag. Julius Caesar crossed the Rubicon River and declared himself the most powerful man alive. Augustus became the first emperor. He built roads that still exist today, laws that still protect us today. The Colosseum was built, a stadium so massive, 50,000 people sat inside watching gladiators fight to the death. Rome wasn't just a city. Rome was the world. But nothing lasts forever. For centuries, Rome had been the strongest force on earth. But slowly, cracks appeared. Corrupt emperors, civil wars, weak armies, empty treasuries. Then the barbarians came. 476 AD, the gates of Rome were broken down. The greatest empire in human history collapsed in a single night. Eternal city fell silent. For the next 900 years, darkness covered the land. But Italy was not dead, just sleeping. Then came Florence, a small city in the north, and a family with more gold than any king. Medici family. They did something no ruler had ever done before. They used their money to fund artists, scientists, and thinkers. From that decision, the world was reborn. Leonardo da Vinci walked into Florence as a young boy with nothing but a sketch, left as the greatest genius who ever lived. Painted the Mona Lisa, a painting so perfect, scientists still cannot explain how he did it. Designed flying machines 400 years before the airplane was invented. Mapped the human body 200 years before modern medicine. Man, one brain, changed everything. Then came Michelangelo. The Pope called him and said, "Paint my ceiling." Michelangelo looked up at the Sistine Chapel ceiling 68 feet high and said yes. 4 years he lay on his back on a wooden platform, painting inch by inch, in pain every single day. The result, the most beautiful artwork in human history. This was the Renaissance, the rebirth of human greatness. It started right here in Italy. But here is the strangest part of this whole story. After all of this, Rome, the Renaissance, Leonardo, Michelangelo, Italy was still not a country. The land was split into tiny kingdoms. North hated South. Venice fought Milan. Naples fought Rome. Every city was its own separate world. Centuries, the Italian people had no united identity. No single flag. No single leader. Just chaos. Then in the 1800s, one man had enough. Giuseppe Garibaldi was not a king, not a politician, just a soldier who believed in one idea: Italy must be one. In 1860, with only 1,000 soldiers, he landed in Sicily. People called his army the Red Shirt. They had no tanks, no cannons, just red shirts and pure belief. Something magical happened. Garibaldi marched north. People joined him. Farmers, fishermen, teachers, mothers, everyone who had ever dreamed of one Italy. Soldiers became 10,000, then 50,000. Kingdom after kingdom fell before them. On March 17, 1861, after thousands of years of history, Italy became one nation, the very first time. Today, Italy is one of the most visited countries on earth. 60 million tourists every single year come to walk the same streets as Caesar, stand where Michelangelo stood, eat the food that Romans invented: Ferrari, Lamborghini, Versace, Gucci, Prada, pizza, pasta, espresso, opera, cinema, architecture, all of it from one small peninsula in southern Europe. Right in the center of Rome, there is a tiny country called the Vatican, the smallest country in the entire world, just 44 hectares, but home to the Pope and 1.3 billion Catholics worldwide. Italy gave the world Roman law, the foundation of almost every legal system today. Italy gave the world modern banking, invented right here in Florence. Italy gave the world the Renaissance, which pulled all of humanity out of darkness. Country that technically didn't exist until 163 years ago, shaped all of human civilization. 2 brothers and a wolf. To the greatest empire in history. To Leonardo, Michelangelo, Caesar, and Garibaldi. To pizza, Ferrari, and the Vatican. This is Italy. History is never boring. You just need to know where to look. If you want more stories like this, subscribe. A new hidden history every single week. You in the next one.